Hello, ladies and germs, it is Joker here, and today I've got a bit of a different one for you. This game is called Railroads Online. Now, some of you may already know that I am a bit of a train fan. Now, I'm more into the British trains, not the American trains, and this is based on the American trains and stuff. But still, this game allows you to create your very own railroad. Now, so if I go ahead and, oh, I can't do it in that, I need to be in first person. So I have this logging tool here that allows me to be able to cut down trees that are either in my path or anything like that, like this. Like, all I've got to do is click on once, and as you can see, they go. I'm hoping one of these trees decides to take off into the atmosphere. Nope. Because it's a very interesting bug that is currently in the game that I hope that the devs never get rid of, because it is so funny to watch a tree launch itself into outer space. God. Okay, it's not going to work. So, I was originally playing the early access version of the game and discovered one or two things that are actually quite useful to know. Such as how's the best way to lay your track out and stuff like that. So one of the ways that I did learn is if you go and into your main menu and press G, go into Rails and grab the crossover tool, and see when the chain comes up just there. If I go ahead and click that, now this is going to be a dead straight track. Don't have to worry about it at all in any shape or form. It will be perfectly straight. And then to get rid of those and create the actual straight track that I will need is go back onto Rails and get the 3 feet of track, get it so that it brings up this link, and click, and you want to go every 2 crossover points and place one down, and every 2 crossover points place one down, and go into demolish. Now come over to the side, don't ever press it here because you'll get rid of the last thing that was pressed or placed even, so you can then just remove it from the side, but make sure you don't get rid of the ground. And there you go, there is a perfectly straight track, absolutely perfect. So there is a map. We are currently here at the logging freight depot, and we want to go to logging camp and sawmill so that we can start producing some stuff. Now we need to create a mainline system. So I think our full mainline is going to go from smelter to refinery. Then everything else is going to come off of that, I think. Possibly ironworks. No, refinery should be good. Then we can create like a little yard down in this corner. So this is going to be a very long process, so I won't let you guys watch it. What I might do is initially this bit anyway, just go ahead and get it done, and then come back to you and show you the layout on our first train run. So okay, I'll see you very shortly. So the track is actually complete. It's been about 4 days since you last saw me, because I do my track lay in a special way. I will show you that very later on this episode, but because the track is now finally laid, we can actually run a train. Now until we get buffers, I'm using some of the grounding stuff for buffers, just so if I do run into problems. Don't know how well that's going to work, but let's get our little 404 Betsy going today. Right. So as far as I know, yeah, she's got no fire in her at all. So let's chuck some logs in, and if I press F, I can actually enter, and you should be able to see my mouse. We have boiler pressure, nothing. Air brake pressure, nothing. Water temperature is currently 10 degrees. And building water level is full at 500. Fire temperature is only 30, 40. It's getting there. Fuel is 47. Sorry, it's hard for me to read that. Now, we can actually stay in this view if we wanted to, but that's not really driving trains, and that's not the way I like to do things. So we'll just wait for Betsy here to build up some pressure, which may take a little bit, so I'll be back with you once she's built up enough pressure for us to go. Okay, so about a minute and a half, and if you come down to the where it says porter here, boiler pressure 17. It'd be nice to have like what, PSI or BAR, depending on what it is. But right now we don't need to focus on Betsy. We need to focus on the couplings because this one needs doing. So let's do that and then put the pin in. Just check the brake on this carriage is on 100% so that when we come into it, we're not going to just crash straight into it. Right, have we got some pressure? About 75. That's not bad. That is enough to go. Right, so what are all these levers? Well, this is the bell for when you are in the sidings or shunting yards, depending on where you're from. Of course, we have the whistle. And here we actually have the sander. This allows, and this is actually how good this game is. Look, it's if I open that up and then crouch down here, you can actually see the sand dropping, but the sand doesn't get dropped with the porter actually on the rails. Can I actually? No, it's actually just slightly off and teeny weeny bit off. But yeah, you can't have everything always perfect. But still, the fact that it actually does work is brilliant. You have the cylinder cocks here. This is so that you can release pressure in the brakes to say if you need a very quick start. Oh, let's just check our fuel. Yeah, that needs some more fuel. So here we have our brakes. So if we pull that back, that'll then be the brake off, and this is our reverser / forward thing. And stop doing that. This basically controls how much of whatever the regulator is on goes actually into the wheel. So if I brought this all the way to the 0 point and then whack this up, oh, okay, so it will actually move it. Okay, so I'm slightly off that one then, I'm guessing. But like, look how slow that wheel in front of me is moving, and that is purely because of where that reverser is. Right, let me just knock her into teeny weeny speed. Let me put the reverser all the way forwards, and we should now. So that other one that I'm doing is actually the regulator arm. You can actually see some of the working mechanics just there. So nice and slowly. Right, and that is now us coupled. So I'm going to quickly just try and jump on this wagon so I can release the brake. Like so. And now we should be good to go. Hey, Betsy girl? Alright, let's close that. And let's stick her to about... I think I can get away with about 30. If you go above 30, I've noticed that things start to get a bit weird. But I don't tend to use the F to get in and out. I prefer actually doing this, which is proper riding the train, so that like you're hanging out the side of the train. If I go into third person view, I'm not actually according to the character, but it gives you the sense of actually driving the engine and stuff like that. Now I'm hoping that these points are all set right. I really do. Let me just very quickly come over to here, because that looks very loud. There we go. That's a little quieter. Okay, so we're all good here. Please. Yeah, we're all good there. And wonderful. So we will actually use the F key just so it can give you a nice view of everything. And then press V like 2-3 times. And so I have this dual track, and most Americans will know that the dual track actually comes from over their way. I'm not going to say that I don't like... No, sorry. The dual track comes from England. The single track comes from America, where they used to have passing lanes. Now, I don't like that. I prefer this type of dual track. It looks nicer, and it's just better function, to be honest. This way as well, I don't have to keep getting out and setting points for every other thing. Most of the time, the points are already preset for anywhere that I need to go. Oh my god, there is a kink in that rail back there. I need to sort that later, remind me. And so obviously, like, some of the groundwork needs doing. I did turn up the foliage graphics so that you can actually see the foliage. And like, this is only a 1050 Ti graphics card, and we're currently up full blast on graphics, and it handles it without a problem at all. Which I think is brilliant, to be honest, to say that this is like a really fairly new game. And oh, it's alright. I saw that and thought that was set wrong. I was like, oh no, we're gonna crash. I'm gonna yeet Betsy into the atmosphere. And also, a challenge that I do actually want to do with this is see if we can get Betsy to fly. And when I mean fly, I don't mean like the way people have put her on like these roller coaster tracks and stuff. I mean literally like the steepest track you possibly can. Take the brake off and let her go, and let's see how far we can get her across the map. So definitely keep your eye out for that in a future episode. So one of the things that I didn't do was time lapse me building all of this, because as you can see, it's not a very long track, but what it is a pain in the rear end to lay. I like it. I love the mechanics of it. I love the way that you have to lay the track and work out the different degrees and stuff. I think that's brilliant. But the only thing that I really wish is that it was a little simpler to lay track. It's like this corner was an absolute pain, and you'll see just here that I have this. So this will take us up into the logging camp, but this is for the two sides. You will see that shortly. And this was a pain to get to work, and my god, I am going to dread coming down it because it is very steep. Also here I had to completely redo this entire section here because there was a whopping great kink in it. No idea why. But this section will get redone eventually. Just I wanted something that was functional for you guys so that I could show you the basis of everything that I've had to do. Right, so because we are coming into the yard shortly after this bend, we'll be coming into the yard. I'm going to drop the regulator, and like I said, look, I can drop the regulator from here. So we're now down to 20%. We're actually coming down a downhill section then. She sped up just a little bit. And also, I wish that the steam actually coming out of her funnel was more, well, more like smoke and steam, bit darker, bit more that you can see it. So we are now coming into what I would class as the yard. So I'm going to drop her right down, and I'm going to have to do that from inside the cab. And as you can hear, she is now coasting. I've basically got nothing on her at all. She's 5%. And the reason that you slow down is one, because there's a lot of trees and I don't know if I cut them all down. So we may end up crashing into a tree here. And just generally, a train would slow down as it come into the yard. Probably a lot sooner than what I did, but oh well. You know, as you do. So, and I also have a loading line and a passing line here. So, and also something that I have over here as well is, and I'll show you as we get to it, is this firewood station for me to load her firewood up. Oh, just press F, didn't I? Oh, no. Alright. Come on, old girl, shift your bum. Let's whack the brake on, because that is about perfect, actually. So this is the loading. The devs have said that there is going to be a tech tree. I would love to see this all being able to be updated. More cranes, possibly. Faster cranes, possibly even literally you just pull up to the side here and it instantly gets put in. But obviously you would have to have like the actual materials as well that you have to drop off. So if I bring up the map, like the smelter and coal mine and stuff like that would all have the materials that you'd need. You'd have to bring them to the logging camp, and it would keep a tally of everything that you've brought to the logging camp so that you could actually run the upgrade. And say it would take so long, so you'd have to stay on the game for say so many days. Because I am aware that there is a day-night cycle coming. I'm not sure when. We also have a caboose coming, which for those that don't know is a brake van. There are more engines to come. There are talks of a bigger map, but nothing's been set down in stone just yet. Alright, so I'm just going to fill Betsy back up with some firewood, and I think what I'm going to do is I will meet you back over at the freight yard so that I can drop off the wood and show you how much we'll get each for it. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we are literally just coming into the freight yard, and I am very aware that some of these points aren't set. So I am just running ahead of Betsy to just make sure that they are set. Like this one's not. This one's not. And because I have slowed her down, as you can see, she's just there behind me. I do not suggest to anybody that you put your engine into idle mode and then run ahead of it. I've had a few incidences where she's run off on me, and my god, that's a bit of a kink in that. You see that, guys? Look, watch this. Look at that kink in that. Should be alright though. She should have managed that perfectly fine, he says. Nope. Alright, we'll just jump back in. And as you can see, brakes off and she is just coasting along nicely. So just keep an eye of where we are so that we can come into this. And also then I can judge about where the boxcar is going to be. Because apparently the boxcar frame is slightly bigger than the other cars. So we need to be aware of that. That's a bit of a distance from that. But it might be alright. Right. Let's whack her into full brake. And to unload, you literally just look at the bottom of the car here and pull down. And you'll see there. And if I go onto here, you'll see that my money, yes, is actually going up by $10 or £10 in English money. So yeah, I'm gonna run a lot more trains, and I'll be back with you when I can actually pick up a bigger load, I think, and then we'll go from there. Let's see what happens in the meantime. We may have a yeet in our hands. Okay, so we are currently up to 10 cars, and we are coming up to the login thing. I'm going to show you how I unload my cars in a single player game. So I'll drop the regulator down to 2. The brake is set to nothing. And now I can actually run along the side of the train faster than the actual engine can go. And because of it, this also gives the chance, the train chance. Right, that doesn't seem to work in my mouth. The train chance to slow down enough so I can get in front of it and over to the freight depot. Okay, as you can see, we've just hit the points now, and she is still slowing down. A couple of them do have actual numbers on, because I decided to put them on and then realised that actually they don't spawn in that order. You can put the numbers on, say I put 109 and 110 and 110, And funnily enough, when they got there, they're actually the opposite way around. So be aware of that, that you then have to spend 15 minutes shunting them back into the right order if you want to have something like that. Right, so now all I've got to do is wait for little old Betsy to come over here. Remember, she is only on a 2% thing. And it is just right click and pull down as they come by. But this also gives me enough time to ensure that they are unloaded, and also grab hold of Betsy before she completely runs off. So you'll see it come up freight and pull down and pull down and pull down, pull down again and again, and again. How many more? About 4 more. Yep. And yep. And 1 more. Right, lovely. And now I can press F, jump into Betsy, press F again, and it puts the brakes and the regulator at 0. So let's check money. We are $1,000 and also level 4. So I'm going to run a few more trains to get as much money as I possibly can. Next episode, I think I'm going to work on a freight line, or at least a freight depot actually here to store some of the cars. And also over at the sawmill, I want to start getting the track laid for that. I'll also give you some track lane tips and stuff like that in that episode, so keep your eye out for that. Quickly, because I didn't go through it earlier, the shop. So we have a flat car, obviously logs and stuff, only logs. Then you've got this one, which is for beams and the rail beams, and there's something else it's for, I can't remember. This is for the firewood or the core wood that you drop off over at the logging, well, any of your fire depots. Basically, I tend to keep them pretty close to any unloading places. You then have the hopper for the iron ore and coal. Haven't got that far at all, nowhere near at all, so that'll be interesting to see when I get there. We have the tanker for the crude oil. It'd be nice to see if we could move some other things. Like, it'd be nice if like there was a little farm or something that could be set up, so you'd have to run the milk and run the animals and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. The boxcar for crate tools, no idea. Really don't know what that's about. Haven't got anywhere near to that yet. The handcar that is totally and utterly busted. Like, I like this. Look, smokestack. It doesn't have a smokestack. Headlights. Can we have a headlight? No. And then, of course, we have the porter, our trusty Betsy. We will actually get another one of these, and I am going to name it. I think I will name it Percy, because that's the only engine that I know is a 404. Also, we have the Porter 2. It's a 060, or some people are classing it as a 042. Then we have the Climax, and this monstrosity. This thing looks an absolute beast. I want it, and I cannot say that name for the life of me. Then we have the Cookie, or the Mogul, as everybody is calling her. She is lovely. She reminds me of the Back to the Future engine. And then we've got the Class 70. It now has a brake, so I might be using that, actually. It's a very nice engine, to be honest. Like, just, it does look very nice indeed. And then we have this monstrosity, which is, it's really a passenger train, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks gorgeous, the colors and everything, it looks absolutely wonderful, but it is a passenger engine. It is not built for freight, so it does make us think that we are going to be getting that eventually. And then unfortunately, that literally, it goes tier 3, tier 5, tier 3, so that really is in the wrong place. The devs might have to fix that. But anyway, ladies and gents, I'm going to end it there. Let me know in the comments what you thought, if you want to see more of this, or you'd rather not. I know I have Halo coming out the 2nd of December, and then before that we have Farming Simulator. I will be doing series on both of those. For those that are wondering where Minecraft is, we are waiting for the new update to drop. We are looking at about the 15th of January to be starting season 4. I think it's 4. I don't know. I've actually lost track now. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it there. Let me just very quickly save so that I don't forget, because I will forget, because this is me. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment or anything like that. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload this series. And unfortunately, it is all the time I have for today. So I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, I've done it again. Oh my god. Right. I've been Joker, and I will see you in a mini money mo. Ta-ta for now.